Action. All right. So this is my poetry power slide. So we're going to talk a little bit about different parts of a poem, and then we're going to read some poems together. And hopefully we can figure out how the poem's supposed to sound, and then we can be better at reading it. All right, so elements of poetry. Poetry has elements you can see and hear. Elements you can see are verses and stanzas. Every line in a poem is called a verse. So each line, you can just call them lines too. Those are lines. Stanzas, several lines grouped together. So it's almost like a paragraph in a poem is called a stanza. When I pull a poem, I'll show you what I mean. A couple elements you can hear. How many of y'all have ever played an instrument? Play like piano or saxophone, guitar. So meter, the best. Have y'all ever heard of a metronome?
No.
So it clicks and just goes click, 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 and then you play music to it. It's the meter. So a pattern of strong and weak syllables in each verse, but it's like a rhythm that's in there. Rhyme. Repeat the same ending sound. So y'all know what a rhyme is. Everyone should know what a rhyme is. Rhythm, the pattern of sounds like the beats in the music. These two go kind of hand in hand. Mood, the rhythm, meter, and rhyme create feelings of emotion. So if you, I'll pause it. Action. All right, here we go. We went through all these. Mood is all of them together. And the mood, yeah, all of them together. Let's move on to the poem here. All right, here's my poem right here. Thanksgiving Day. We'll start with this one. I've read this like once or twice, so see if I can read it the right way. There's a certain way you're supposed to read poems, and sometimes you got to read a couple times to find it. Y'all, please put the food up and the yo-yos. All right, over the river and through the wood to grandfather's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the wood, oh, how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the wood to have a first-rate play. Hear the bells ring, ting-a-ling-ding, hooray for Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, trot fast my dappled gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound for this Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood and straight through the barnyard gate, we seem to go extremely slow. It is so hard to wait. Over the river and through the wood, now grandmother's cap I spy. Hooray for the fun, is the pudding done? Hooray for the pumpkin pie. So that's a Thanksgiving Day poem. It's kind of fun. I know y'all probably heard something over the river and through the woods, grandmother's house we go. It's fun. Anyways, did y'all hear how like there was like a rhythm that went with it?
Yeah, it was rhyming.
These are the stanzas. Each stanza had like the same rhythm.
It was rhyming.
You read each stanza has the same rhythm. These are called lines or verses. And let's look at one other thing here. All right, so we know how the poem is supposed to be read. Hey, let's read this one together. We're gonna try to read it together. All right, y'all ready? Y'all wanna try reading it with me? Can y'all see that? All right, so here we go. Hey, we got to keep it down. We're all gonna read it together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Over the river and through the wood to grandfather's house we go. The horse knows the way. They'll carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the wood, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the wood to have a first-rate play. Hear the bells ring, ting-a-ling-ding, hooray for Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, trot fast my dappled gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound for this Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, straight through the barnyard gate, we You seem to go extremely slow. It's so hard to wait.
What?
Over the river, through the wood. Now grandmother's cap I spy. Hooray for the fun. It's pudding done. Hooray for the pumpkin pie.
What?
Hey, back something like that. That was really good. Hey, did y'all notice when y'all were doing that? I was doing this right here.
That's what I was doing.
This was the meter. So some of y'all are getting a little bit fast, and sometimes I went a little bit slow. So this kept the beat. If you follow this in music, there's a beat. You gotta follow that. Over the river and through the wood. Now if I do this, over the river, through the woods, to grandma's house we go, it goes faster. So there's a meter. Hey, most poems have a certain meter to them. Have you ever watched like what Whitley's talking about? They're called conductors. They have a little. They do this right here. Very good. All right, so let's look at something else here. All right, let's look at one more poem. We're gonna read it, and I'm gonna pick a couple people just to read it on your own. Alright, so this one's called Give Thanks. I'm gonna read it first, and then we're gonna read it together just like we did the other one. And then I'll pick some people. Alright, here we go. Give thanks for the hay and the corn and the wheat that is reaped, for the labor well done and the barns that are heaped, for the sun and the dew and the sweet honeycomb, for the rose and the song and the harvest brought home. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. For the trade and the skill and the wealth in our land, for the cunning and strength of the working man's hand, for the good that our artists and poets have taught, for the friendship that hope and affection have brought. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. For the homes that with purest affection are blessed, for the season of plenty and well-deserved rest, for the country extending from sea unto sea, the land that is known as the land of the free. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. That was lovely. I like that one. That was sweet.
I can identify.
All right, so
what this is.
are there any words in this one that you don't know? I might ask y'all that the last one.
Mr. Tippett. Not really. Mr. Tippett.
Any words that you don't know? Out there?
I do know that it's alliteration. It's got.
That can be
word
something like
starts
that.
with R, like read.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, we're almost done. Shh. Here we go. Let's read this one together, just like we did. Y'all ready?
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3. For the hay and the corn and the wheat that is reaped, for the labor well done and the barns that are heaped, for the sun and the dew and the sweet honeycomb, for the rose and the song and the harvest brought home. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. All right, we're gonna slow it down. For the trade and the skill and the wealth in our land, for the cunning and strength of the working man's hand, for the good that our artists and poets have taught, for the friendship that hope and affection have brought. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. For the homes that will with purest affection are blessed, for the season of plenty and well-deserved rest, for the country extending from sea unto sea, the land that is known as the land of the free. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. All right, that was good, y'all.
Y'all were so way.
So really good. Hey, raise your hand if you want to read one of them. Ash, you want to try one? Your hand went up first. Which one? I'm going to give the first one.
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to pick 2 people, and then after the video, if somebody else wants to read it, we can do it. You want to read it? Go ahead, Asher. All right, give Asher your attention.
Over the river and through the woods to grandfather's house we go. The horses know the way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the wood, oh how the wild wind does blow. It stings the toes and it bites the nose as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the wood to have a first-rate play and hear the bells ring, ting and ling ding.
That's a tough one.
Hurry for Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, trot fast my feet to play.
Dappled gray.
Dappled gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound for the Thanksgiving Day. over the river and through the wood and straight to the barnyard gate. We seem to go extremely slow. It's so hard to wait. Over the river and through the wood now grandmother's cat I spy. Hurry for the fun, is the pudding done? Hurry for the pumpkin.
Good job. Good job. All right. One more person to read the next one. I picked a boy. I picked a girl. You want to read it? All right, Parker, hit it. Sit quiet.
I was sitting quietly.
Go ahead. Isaiah. For the rose.
Can nobody hear us?
Let her finish.
For the homes that will perish, affection are blessed. For the section of plenty and well-deserved rest. For the country extending from sea until sea. For the land that is known as the land of the free. Thanksgiving.